Back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna rattle some names off to you real fast. Nate Solder, Joe Thuney, David Andrews, Shaq Mason, Cameron Fleming. Now, unless you are a hardcore Pats fan, or just like I said, hardcore Pats fan, you have no idea who I'm even talking about. You don't have a clue who I'm talking about. I'm bringing those names up. That's the offensive line of Tom Brady. That's his offensive line. Nate Solder, left tackle. Joe Thuney, left guard. David Andrews, center. Shaq Mason, right guard. Cameron Fleming, right tackle. Those are the starters of the game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who Saxonville had the best defense in the league. I think led the league in sacks and all that kind of stuff. They were getting to Brady pretty early, and I thought that was going to be the whole thing of the game. My whole thing is always with them: can you play 4 quarters? They end up sacking Brady 3 times. I think they got him twice in the first half and once in the second half, and that was it. Other than that, Brady was able to count the birdies in the sky and throw the football everywhere, anywhere he wanted to go to. The reason why I'm bringing these things up, and I'm just bringing up the line for right now, bringing up the offensive line right now. You know of Amendola. You know of some of the rest of them guys: Deion Lewis, James Devlin, Amendola. Like I said, Brandon Cooks, Big Gronk, and all them guys like that, and whatnot. The fact of the matter is this: is like Tom Brady gets a lot of credit, and rightfully so, but he's a quarterback, and sometimes the credit is too much. I really can't stand the stat of a quarterback in his record. The quarterback is one of 11 people. Can you say he's a starter, stirs a drink? To an extent, yes, you can say that. But at the same time, you got to give these guys some love. Me being a former offensive lineman when I was in high school, I'm like, it's all, you don't get all that love or whatever like that. But at the same time, it's no, if it's you build your team with linemen, and these guys are unsung. These guys probably can't even play for anybody else. But Belichick pulls out the best in these guys. They basically didn't touch Brady the second half. Literally didn't touch Brady the second half. And these guys need a lot of credit instead of just acting like Brady was out there in the field, out there playing by himself. And it's enough of, I'm so tired of hearing that Brady did this, Brady's record is this, Brady's record is that. I always thought the record belonged to the coach. And of course, as a team, you have their record. So as a team, you're X, Y, and Z. So if all of these guys are the starters, let's say Nate Solder and all them guys started the whole year, they are 13-3 or 14-3 going into that of the Super Bowl. They're all 14-3 when you want to put it that way. The whole team, because it's a team. The coach is the record because the coach is the one that has the record. I don't say a quarterback has that or the whole thing I used to say. And I said this when I first started my filming last year. The whole thing about Brady's uh, Brady Brady's record against Peyton Manning. Show me the last time when 2 quarterbacks was on the field at the same time going against one another. This is not tennis. Okay, it's not tennis. So Tom Brady is one of 11 people that has a job to do. He does his job extremely well. He's going to go down as one of the greatest ever. I never say greatest of all time because the time is not over with yet. You could say he's getting, because the NFL is getting close to turning 100 years old. You could say he's the greatest quarterback of the first 100 years of the NFL. I'm gonna give you that. He's the greatest quarterback of all time in the Pats, uh, in the Patriots organization. We can pretty much stomp on it, say that that's what that is. That's fine, even though that time is not up on the Pats or whatever. But let's just for the sake of argument. So I don't really use the whole GOAT moniker and stuff like that. I just say great. I say one of the greats of the first 96, 97, 98 years. Okay, let's do it that way there. Okay, so that's the thing there. He didn't do this thing by himself. They had to give him time, and they gave him a lot of time to just sit up there and throw that ball, to get it to Amendola, to get it to guys like Deion Lewis, to get it to that Brandon Cooks and all them guys to make it happen. Because without Brady, they can't do, because they only run the ball. That 18-yard game on that 3rd and 9, which should have been shut down, just showed you how Jaguars basically just gave up. They were done. They still had a chance to actually be in the game, and they just tanked it. At third down, they're running it. They wasn't going to pass the ball, something that you see Sean Payton did a couple of weeks ago. And luckily, due to bad calls, that saved his tail. But they ran the ball. Now, I would say, had Miles Jackson been there, he would have been able to scrape. He'd have probably made that tackle. Them guys got caught up in that end around. More just basically he just took it and ran him outside. And there was some holding going on there, but you can call that every play if you want. And that would have gave them about if they stop him, that would have gave them because they'd already stopped him already. That would have gave them Jaguars out of time about a minute and 15 seconds. And then you're just playing school ball. You're playing out in the backyard. And sometimes that's some of your greatest plays come from just letting it fling around the field. So who knows? However, we already know what went down. That happened. Now let's go back and see what happened. Now, if we notice about the game in itself, Jaguars was up going into halftime. They was 14-3, then ended up being 14-10, ended up scoring a touchdown. Jaguars come out third quarter, kick a 54-yard field goal. They up 17-10. They get the ball again, and they kick another field goal. Here we go. So in the second half, the Pats defense gave up some yards, didn't give up no points. And that's the main thing with Belichick. And that is for some guy that I had a conversation with. We're talking about Belichick doesn't care about stats. No, he cares about that stat there, partner. That's a stat. A stat is that the Pats will give you mounds of yards. They want to keep you to field goals. They want to give you the 3 points. They don't want to give you 6 or 7. They're not trying to give you that. They give you a field goal, and they don't want to give you that either. But I'm saying they would rather give you 3. They'd rather give you 4 more points to add on to that. So that was 2 drives that they kept the ball for a long period of time and come up with only 6 points, which meant that the defense stiffened. Now, I can go on the Jaguars got stiff, that too, because they ran hot and cold, period. And Fournette wouldn't hit that hole the way he was supposed to hit that hole. That's one knock I got on the young brother, but he should be all right. But look at what the Pats did. That's what I guess they did on defense. They only surrendered 6 points in the second half. In the first half, they gave up 14. They gave up 6 points. Jaguars shut them guys down, had them to 10 points in the first half. And these are the Pats. Second half, what do? Second half, they scored 20 points. Game over. Just like that. Game over. Just like that. Which meant that they didn't touch Brady. Tail of 2 halves. Now let's do that. Now we go to their defense. Again, go to their starting lineup. And that's what I'm talking about right here. Ricky Jean, Franconis. I don't know how you say his name. Lawrence Guy, Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown's the only one I heard because he went to Texas. Trey Flowers, Kyle Van Noy. I mean, I've obviously heard of these guys. And, of course, OS, James Harrison, Malcolm Butler. But you know about Malcolm Butler, some of them guys in Gilmore and some of them guys kind of like have made a name, Pro Bowl here, there, whatever. But you look at their front 7. Guys you kind of don't know about, and they got the job done. 6 points in the second half. 6 points. So they did their job, enabling him, Brady, and his offense to do the things that they've done. Had it not been for the defense, and especially Gilmore making that play, which, if you ask me, if Bortles could have led a little bit, that guy could have caught that ball. He threw the ball short, which enabled him to sit up there and knock the ball down. He threw it in front and not beyond him to make him go chase it or go leap after it. But he made the play. They've kind of been disappointed with him, pretty much for all season, but he kind of made up for it, earned his keep or whatever, however you want to put it. Guys got shut down. Period. That was the name of the game. And these guys are responsible for doing their job and doing this to make it easy for Brady, because had they not been able to stop them, game over with. Game over with. There's nothing else to talk about. If they make that catch and go on and win the game, say Jaguars win, All of what Brady did gone for naught. Just like with Ben Roethlisberger, that great game he had, it's all for naught. Why? Because Pittsburgh defense couldn't stop the Jags from doing anything. Period. But Jaguars got tight, couldn't do what they needed to do. Players didn't step up to make the type of plays they need to play, and that's what caused that happen. Right? That's what caused them to basically lose the game. So we can go back and forth about it. So give just due to the other players on that squad, especially on offensive line, who kept Brady clean in the second half. Of course, they didn't run the ball. They don't run the ball in New England. Shit, they've been stopped running the ball in '07. They don't run the ball. When Brady went from just being a game manager to 2007, when he started being like a prolific passer. Because in Brady's first 5 or 6 years, he was not no prolific passer. Like he started becoming in 2007 from to what he is now. You follow? So that's what he is now. And they throw the ball everywhere. Brady's going to throw the ball 40, 45 to 50 times a game. That's it. He throws to the open man. You make the catch, make a move, get 6 or 7 yards, we come back, do it again, get the first down, we keep the chains moving. It's real simple, but you got to put pressure on it. But I'm like, stop giving all the credit to Brady and sit up there and go look at this line and what they did for him. Both lines, offensive line, defense, and the whole defensive team in itself, and the whole offensive team. But I'm talking about the big nasties that kept him clean in the second half. He didn't do this by himself. Stop saying that ridiculous stat where Brady is this, that, and the other. He is not out there in some cartoon thing like Bugs Bunny hiking the ball to himself and then catching it and throwing it to himself. Let's just stop that and give. It's the ultimate team sport. I played ball in high school, and I remember one of our undershirts back when we used to wear the old under gray shirts, so he wouldn't be, put our when we put our pads on, we had big team and a little bitty me under it because it was team first, me second, and that's why the Pats are so good. Everything is team orientated, not me. And I get that. And that's why Belichick is a great coach. And he does the things that he does. Everybody in it to do your job. And Brady does his job. But Brady does not do that job by himself. He does not. If he does not have a good line, he can drop back and do all that stuff. If he doesn't have a good line or some decent receivers, we're not even talking about Brady. That is a system that is set up to them. Like, this is ultimate team game. We play team ball here. When them guys start talking about, I want money, want this, that, the other, Belichick sends them down the road because there ain't but one joker that's going to make some money, to make that superstar money, and we already know who that is. And that's a reason, because your quarterback does have to be there. But to protect him, he's not winning them games by himself. So give respect where respect is due. And it's not about me even being a Pats fan. I'm a football fan first and foremost. Give them guys up front the recognition that they need, because they keep that man clean. And the defense kept the Jaguars, other teams, scoring 6 points in the second half. 6 points in the second. That's all they got after getting 14 in the first half, when people didn't think they was going to supposed to even get that. But they got that. So in the second half, the defense came to work, and they ended up sacking Bortles, I think, all 3 times. I think in the second half, if I'm not mistaken. Could have gotten more, but I know they sacked him 3 times as well, but I think it was all in the second half. They wasn't even touching Bortles in the first half. Bortles was like a Pro Bowl quarterback, and it had improved from the Bills to Pittsburgh to even he was playing lights out, but then it stopped. And then they made their adjustments, and the defense shut anything down that was going on. So give them guys just do it, not just Brady. It's not fair. All right. Check me out, Everything Football 62, YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate the love. Like I said, keep trying to put up, keep putting up interesting topics leading up to the Super Bowl and everything. Check me out at Twitter, Everything Football 62, Uncut Men 62. Check me out. You can follow me at Twitter if you like or whatever. But mostly here YouTube. Check me out. If you got any comments or whatever, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And if you got any comments, whether they're good or bad, as long as they got something to do with football, we can build. Because sometimes people look at say, "Oh, I didn't get what you were saying," but now I see what you're saying. Once I really get a chance to really break it down to them, once they, sometimes it's some rebuttal, but it's like, hey, it's all good. It's about football and everything. And that's what this is all about. The greatest sport in the world, as far as I'm concerned. You know, all right, and and I'll be back probably in a couple more days, coming with some other things. You guys have a good one. Thanks.